Hey there, PCS community, Mr. Book here. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing how to use a platform called Nearpod. This is a application or a website that we're going to be using as our primary instructional tool this year. So I thought it'd be a good idea to showcase this to you guys so you know exactly how the platform works and why we at PCS have selected it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do kind of a sample lesson where the student is going to be on the right side of the screen and the teacher is going to be on the left side of the screen. So long story short with this platform, what Nearpod allows us to do is to do PowerPoint presentations with embedded assessments or questions within the PowerPoint, and the students go through the slides at the same pace as the teacher. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in detail. And let's start by going to our Google Classroom that we've set up for a student. So I am playing the role of the student right now. And what I am going to do is exactly what would usually happen on a daily basis, where the student enters into their Google Classroom and they find the most recent post from their teacher. And the teacher will either add in a class code to enter into the Nearpod lesson, or they will put a link down here where the students simply click on the link. So again, I'm playing the role of the student here, and here's the announcement. I'm going to take this class code and I'm going to, as the student, enter my class code in right down here. And I'm going to join the lesson. So I'm just at nearpod.com, nearpod.com. And students join a lesson. Bam. And we can see here that the first thing it'll do for the student is it'll ask them to put their name in. So I'm going to put in my name. It's really important that the students use their real names because this is how the data is going to be spit out as an assessment tool. So because the students are going to have their own accounts, it will very likely put it in for them. But just be really careful and make sure the students aren't putting anything weird in there because it'll be hard to see who is completing the assessments and who isn't. So as the student, again, I'm going to join the session. And here is the presentation for today. So as I said before, I'm going to pull this over so that I have the student on one side and the teacher on the other side. So this over here is the teacher, and this over here is the student. So I've picked a lesson on plant and animal identifications. It's a really good lesson. And I'm just going to go through kind of the first few slides so you see what this looks like. So over here on the student side, I want to let you know, it doesn't matter if the student is at school or at home. It doesn't matter what internet connection it is. They can still participate in these lessons the exact same way that I'm showing you now. So as the teacher, here's the intro slide. And notice that when I click next, it goes to the next slide for the students as well. So this is the teacher is controlling the pacing of the lesson. And in addition to that, they are going to be on Zoom also doing the instruction live. So not only will the students be able to see the teacher, they will also be able to see the platform or the resource right up close, right next to themselves. So it's not like we have to scope through a video and kind of squint to see what's on the board. This is exactly what's on the board. So we can see the objectives come up first. I'm going to click next. And then again, we can see that it goes next with the student. So in this case, I've added in a open-ended question where the students can write in an answer. So over here on the student side, I'm going to write in clause to help bears hunt. That's an adaptation that I'm aware of. And then again, as the student, I click submit. And then over here, we can see that on the teacher side, it's going to say that I have answered the question. So we can see that, Johnny is here and there's a little dot next to it, which means he's answered it. And in addition to that, I can share the answers to the class to show, now I'm the only one in the class, so 100% said what I said, obviously. But this is a really great instructional tool to generate class discussion, regardless of whether the student is there or not. This is why we chose this platform specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And we can see again that it goes right in tandem with the teacher. Now, this next slide contains a video, and usually when all the students are in class, we would show the video up on the whiteboard. But in this case, because some of our students are at home, we're gonna say play the video on all devices. So now over here on this side, I'm gonna turn my volume down a little bit. Over here on this side, the student can then click the video and watch it on their own prior to the teacher moving over to the next slide. So this is an instructional tool where maybe the students will be taking notes on a video. They'd be watching a video created by a fellow student. They'd be watching a documentary of some kind. So the video is right inside of the Nearpod platform, so the students don't have to open up a new tab and go to YouTube and type. No, it's all right there for them. So as the teacher, again, I'm going to click next. And this is a slideshow in here. So the students in this case can not wait for the teacher. They can click through these slides on their own. Again, this is good for something like note-taking where the teacher wants students to work independently. And once the slide is over, we go on to the next one. And then here would be a quiz question. So again, this is the important part why you want the students to put their real names in so that we can make sure that when they give the answer, we're getting results from them. So which of the following adaptations is good for getting food? Claws for digging, and sharp teeth. Submit. It's showing the student that that they have submitted their answer. And then over here on the teacher's side, immediately it's going to show what answers each kid in the class answered. And again, just like before, I can share the answer so that students can see it. All the students on their own device can see it, and they can have class discussions regarding the answers that their students had. So I'm not going to go through the entire slideshow in detail and all of the different assessment types and quizzes and answer formats. This video was designed to show you the basics of the platform. And here we can see at the end, this is something that you'll likely see, is at the very end we have a 4-question quiz assessing the students on what they gathered from the lecture. So that is the whole shebang here. Again, this was the student side and this was the teacher side. And so you can imagine even just the way that you were watching this video right now is how the students will be learning on this platform, where they can hear the teacher. That's not the case. In this particular video, I didn't turn my webcam on, but they'd be able to see the teacher teaching and go through the lessons at the same pace as the rest of the class. Now, in addition to that, if students are not currently in class, i.e. they can't make it to a live lesson, teachers can also create student-paced lessons where if a student wasn't there, the student can still access the course materials in 2 ways. First, the teacher would have recorded the lesson that they just did live with the class and posted it inside of either this announcement or in an announcement for the next day. And in tandem, the students will go through a student-paced version of the lesson, which allows them to click through on their own. So regardless of whether your student is in class live, at home, participating in the live class, or not able to make it to class, they will still be able to participate and receive the exact same instruction and the exact same resources as everybody else in the class. Now again, this is something that we're going to be using for a lot of our classes. So it's really important that you're familiar with how the platform works. This video is meant to be a broad overview. I hope that it was helpful in just showing you what the platform is. More information will come out from your teachers or from the leadership staff about how specifically to access and use it. But again, this was just designed to show this is the platform, this is how it works, this is how the teacher will be teaching. So thank you so much for participating. Thank you for checking out the resources, and stay safe, and we'll see you soon.